YouTube. Welcome again, another vlog. I can't wait to have to not record a video in my garage. Don't get me wrong, I love my garage. Like, plenty of space, lots of room for activities. I'm laying, look at it, but I have to do it until it's warmer outside. So here we are, another heavily requested video that I've been putting off for a little while because honestly, I didn't really want to think about how much money I had put into this. But there are worse builds, there are slower builds, there are worse financial decisions, but we all know that this is a hobby that it's so expensive. So you might as well just accept the fate and that you got to spend some money to. So today's video is to go over how much this build cost. What was the total cost? Now this is everything kind of gonna get rounded up. There's still stuff I'm not gonna include, like shipping costs, little pieces like, you know, the tiny stuff, the stuff that, you know, things like the Bonamici shifter, stuff like that. I'm not gonna include all of it because then it could just be, you know, probably like another figure that the total is within $2 grand of what I'm including, because there's pieces that I kept from the old bike. I'm not including that with what this build is, but figure another $2,000 for, you know, what I list for today's video. But real quick, one of my channel sponsors, MBT Clothing, rocking that sweatshirt. I'm going to the gym after this video and this thing's comfy, man. It is 45 degrees out right now and I'm warm. This is good. Although I do have the gray sweatpants on, that's dangerous for YouTube. It's padded, got it on the elbows and the back. And I'm gonna be wearing this down to Miami because A, it looks good, B, it's comfortable, and there is some resistance if you do fall off the bike. God forbid, knock on some wood, boy. Knock on some wood, we ain't doing that again. But yeah, MBT Clothing, check them out, Carbon15, use that code, get 15% off. My boy Nick, he makes some good stuff. They just came out with a gray one. I can't wait to get that one, but moving on, let's get to the build. So we'll start with the main components, the bigger stuff. We'll get kind of nitpicky after this. So Teddy was a huge help with this build. He was able to save me some money instead of obviously buying everything from the factory, because who even knows? Or even eBay. Sometimes on eBay, it just gets so expensive, some of this stuff. Like I just bought the headlight, which is crucial for the front end. The headlight, I was able to find it for $600. But on Honda, it's $1,200. So we're gonna put $600 headlight up top. So I'm just gonna put this together. The frame, the motor with Teddy's build, the front shocks, and then the body wiring harness. That was 10 grand, okay? $10,000 right there. So then we have, let's see, Carbo-Moto rear subframe, that was $550. The fairings, which are NT fairings, NT fairings, fairly good fitment, very impressed. Obviously, you know, nothing ever fits perfectly, just, you know, factory doesn't even fit perfectly sometimes. But the fairings were $500. And then the main course, the main ingredient that everybody loves about this build, the beautiful Rotobox Bullet full carbon wheels. These were $4,200 with ceramic bearings, so make sure you put that in there. $4,200 for those. Rear swing arm was $600. Rear shock, $500. Samco hoses, $200. So the kickstand and the lowering bracket are a combo that are $300. I also purchased the Brembo clutch side lever to match my RCS 19 master cylinder. This was $300 and just the lever was $200. That hurt a little bit. Bonamici triple clamp. This is a ignition delete. You have to get the harness with it, but we're just gonna say that was $300. And then we have the carbon handlebars from Elite Performance, along with their lowering bracket for their strap kit. So the bars were $160, the strap kit is $160. Dunlop tires, this is a Drag Max. I was able to find this for just under 200, but we'll put $200. The front is also a Dunlop Q3 Plus. I was able to get that for 150 off of eBay. Then we got on this side the beautiful SC Project titanium slip-on. This was 800, and the Akrapovic titanium header, that was $1,600. Now the problem is with that header is they do not make it anymore. You can't get it. You can get the stainless steel, still a great header, but the titanium one, which cuts a huge amount of weight, you can't get it anymore. So unfortunately, if you guys are looking to replicate this exhaust, you're gonna have to do the titanium slip-on with the stainless steel header, because the header you can't get in titanium. So you can't see it, but underneath I have the titanium CBR1000 SP2 titanium gas tank. So that I was able to find off eBay for 700. I don't know what that would be right now, but I paid 700. So pieces that we're gonna get to the smaller stuff now. The intake tubes, these are factory part, you need them for the airbox. Those plus the plastic under tray, $350 for both of those. So the other factory part that was obviously crucial, the handlebar controls, those were $390. Luckily I was actually able to find those. So that's key component, you need those in order to start the bike obviously. And then other small stuff, EK chain, we were able to get that for 200. Yes, I had to write all this out because it's quite a list. So we're finishing up most of the components I've covered. Other small things that I want to mention. Featherweight lithium battery. That is just over $100. And then of course, you gotta stop the bike if you wanna ride it. So, got the Galfer rotor. This is around 200, and then stock replacement caliper. Those are, I think it was 150. I paid for 2 of them off of eBay, so. But like I said, there's so many little things that I'm not gonna add to the list because I'm just too lazy to edit a video like that. But there's a couple little small components that I'm not throwing on here, but we have, the rear sets, I've had those on the old bike. A lot of titanium on the bike. We have the titanium bolts here. We have titanium bolts here. Where else do we have titanium front shock bolts. I mean, the list goes on. The Bonamici mirror block-off plates. The list just goes on, but figure $2,000 added to whatever today's total is, but this is where it gets you. As many of you know, I'm on the ultimate goal of being the lightest street bike CBR in the country. I want to be able to ride this bike casually, and it's still a street bike. It still has factory fairings, it still has headlights and taillights, it still has, all right, so let's see, taillight right there. Like, I want this to be, turn off, there you go. I want this to be a street rideable bike, but still be very competitive in the road race community. And in order to do that, there's a lot of stuff you gotta remove, but that's free. You just gotta take the time and do it properly, and just, don't be cutting and snipping things or whatever. But to give you guys an idea of how light this bike actually is, I have removed over 70 pounds of weight in the bike on an empty gas tank. The goal right now is, in Miami, I'm gonna go weigh it down, and the goal right now is that this bike is gonna weigh 335 on an empty gas tank. The normal stock weight, I believe, is 409 on an empty tank from a factory bike. So if you guys have been adding this up, taking notes, but this is obviously a very, exuberant amount that you don't need to buy all these components. You can still get factory wheels, stock rear subframe. You don't need carbon fairings, but figure that this bike, you're in it for about 25 grand, and that's probably still 2,000 to 3,000 off with all the other pieces. But you got to look at it, you got to weigh your pros and cons. I have a bike that for 25K, at this point, I think there's going to be much more expensive options than this, and we'll see how well this platform works. But she's done. We're ready for Miami. We're going to see how this motor performs. We're going to see how the bike performs. But thank you again for my channel sponsors, NBT Clothing, Teddy, Rotobox. Thank you for partnering with me. NT Fairings. All these companies that I've partnered with to get this bike to where it is, And I can't wait, man. This is gonna be a great season. 2023, here we go, we're back. Carbon 2.0. Now don't forget, I am still waiting on carbon fairings, but we're not sure on the timeline from the builder, so we'll see how much longer we gotta go on that. Right now we're at 3 months. So thank you, everybody. Hope you guys have a great weekend, and next vlog probably will be the Miami vlog. So hope you guys check in, like and subscribe. Appreciate it. Have a great night.